Hi
Hey
guys,
guys.
welcome to Real Black Love with Sims and Bongs.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been a while, it's been forever. We know we've had so many challenges. Um, Part of the challenges is the fact that we lost our phone. So we use we use one phone, guys. We
Yeah.
don't have two phones in this house. So our daughter put that phone in the
And then,
bathroom and whatever, so it drowned, and we are still working on that. So we had recorded a video, but we lost obviously the audio because we were using the phone for that. Yeah.
yeah, but fortunately, all that is sorted out. We don't need the phone anymore for audio. And yeah, so we are back.
We're back.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about things that can be toxic in a relationship that we might not be necessarily aware of, or that might affect either one of the partners or the relationship itself.
Yeah, so we're going to be delving deeper into that because these things exist, they are real, we go through them, and it's only fair that we share our own experiences. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into the video.
Every relationship has its own core values that glue it together. Central to ours is love, family, and adventure. This is Real Black Love.
So guys, what we are talking about today is toxic traits that we have, that it's some of these things are habits. These are the things that we've gotten so used to doing that we don't even become aware that they are ruining the relationship or scarring the relationship or scarring the next person. We'll only realize this later on, when it's now out in the open and the sore has fully developed and it's now a toxic thing where it affects the relationship and the relationship can no longer survive. So yeah.
So what are those things?
I think let's go back to what I said yesterday, right? Yesterday I said something to Bongani and I was saying to you, babe, that we have gotten so used to sacrificing ourselves that I feel like it's a toxic thing, right? So we went to the mall. We decided to go to do a little bit of shopping, and when we were there, he took a jacket that he really loved, and it was a nice jacket, and he kept going back and forth, and he gave the jacket to me, and he didn't even want to go to the till to pay for it. So I didn't understand. So he was like, babe, let me go to the next shop, I'll come back when you're done, because I was still looking for stuff for myself. So when I went to the till, he came and he said to me before I paid, because he just gave me the card and left. So he came to the till and said to me, ish, babe, you know what, I think I don't want it. Like, I don't want to take it. And I was like, but I can see that you like it, how excited you were when you gave it to me. I can see that you like it. And he was like, so I was like, no, you know what, go stand there, I'll pay for it. So I took the card, paid for my stuff, then we left. So as we were leaving, he was telling me about how guilty he feels. And I think that I share sentiments. I usually feel like that when I buy myself something, when I buy anything for myself or do anything for myself that has got nothing to do with us or has got nothing to do with us as a family. I always feel like I'm taking away from something that I could be doing for our kids. I'm taking away something that we could be buying for ourselves because I feel like we are not where we want to be. So I feel like I don't deserve it. So I think that could be toxic and lead to a lot of resentment later on, where we feel like we lost our lives while we were trying to build our life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, right? The fact that we see when we're doing anything for the family, that's far more important than when we are doing it for ourselves. That's what we see, but that's not the truth all the time or in all circumstances. Sometimes you have to do it for yourself, for the family, because ultimately it will benefit the family.
100%.
So if you're doing it for your own happiness, you will be happy at home. If you're doing it for your own development, you'll be
adding
value, yes, to the family unit. You know, if you're doing it for any reason that is good, that benefits you, ultimately there is a way for the family to still benefit from that. So I'm guilty of doing it. I'm guilty of choosing to see the bigger picture, and the bigger picture for me is always the family. So the fact that probably I'd rather have Timu buy something, you know, or we buy Nala something, you know. So I mean, it's something that you are not aware of the effects or its effects at the time, like every time you're doing it, but it does cause a dent in what, your life. It does create problems in the future.
True.
Of, as you said, resentment, not being content.
Yes.
You know, not being happy, and just not being satisfied, honestly, because you just feel like I'm always doing something for the next person.
Sacrificing yourself for the next person. And babe, I'd honestly hate for you to get to a point in the future where you feel like because of us, because of me, because of the kids, you've had to let go of your dreams and your own aspirations, that we might not even understand the way, because you are an artist, you know, the things that you want to buy for yourself, we don't benefit at that moment in any way, you know. If you buy a keyboard and whatever because it just evokes this, you know, this feeling, this happiness, it has got nothing to do with us, but to do with you and your own interest being, you know, being nourished and harnessed. So I feel like it is important for us to be able to give each other that space, to be able to pursue things that solely lead to our own satisfaction and fulfillment. Because you cannot, I don't know who was saying that, but someone was saying that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you cannot give of yourself if you don't put anything into yourself to make sure that you are a happy person, you are a happy partner. But you have to be a happy individual to start with. Yeah. So yeah.
And that's something that I think a lot of us would notice through our parents, that once we've grown, you might hear them say that, you know what, it's now my time. And you're like, okay, so it's your time now that you're 60.
Yes, why 50, wasn't it your time during all of this?
Your turn. So you can see that I think throughout the generations we've been so much guilty of doing that, you know, committing that thing of putting others first, which is not a bad thing, but I think in moderation. Like, you can't do it all the time. That you literally you are sacrificing your dreams, you're sacrificing your wants, your needs, you know, just because you think that somebody needs it more. You know, sometimes you just have to be selfish enough to put in, as you said.
Yes, which brings me to our, like, the second point, where I feel like as people in relationships, we tend to sacrifice ourselves so much, even our own feelings, our views and opinions with regards to certain things and certain decisions that have to be taken within a relationship, right? I think between you and I'm the one person who is not very... You've got a bigger personality. I know it seems like It's a lie. Yes, but you are a very bold, opinionated person, right? You are out there, man. You are not scared to express certain things. You are not scared to speak out. You are not scared to say purple, blue is better. And you are also someone who is able to even motivate nicely why blue is better, right? Whereas I feel like in most cases, I don't have strong opinions with a lot of matters. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't have strong opinions when it comes to a lot of things, unless it's something that I'm really passionate about, which I'm not passionate about a lot of things. Contrary to how you are. So I tend to feel that when it comes to making certain decisions, if you don't say, so babe, what do you think? Most times I'd be like, yeah, whatever you are okay with, you know. Most times I'd be like, no, babe, what do you think? You know, sometimes you ask me how I feel about something, I'd be like, how do you feel? And I feed off of that and end up basing my own opinion on that. And sometimes it's not that I don't have an opinion. Sometimes I feel like my opinion is not strong enough. I don't have enough reasons to motivate that. So I feel like that can be a toxic thing, a toxic trait, or something that can lead to my own detriment in the future, where I don't speak out on a lot of things because I feel like maybe they're not as important, or
or you can't just support them
enough
so convincingly. I think it's also important as partners to be aware of what's going on, aware of how your partner is, so that you don't, like you're saying I am more opinionated. I even know how to persuade a person to see how I see things, right?
He does that a lot.
Right. So it's important that I see that I am aware of my strength in that, and I am aware of your weakness in that, and I don't become abusive. I don't always favor myself or my own opinions just because I am the one who's heard the most, or who comes across as, I don't know, more of a logic thinker around the problem, or, you know, the situation. So I need to be very considerate of that, so that I can give you a chance for you to speak. And even if you are, as you are trying to give your reasons why you think that is, you know, the sky is blue. If for some reason I feel like, it's not sufficient, you know, to persuade me, I still need to also consider the fact that your opinion matters at the end of the day. Whether it's a bit shallow, you know, for me, or whatever. I still need to take it as an opinion that matters, and I need to consider it against everything. So that maybe even if mine made more sense, you could find that your contribution, your opinion, may have contributed to me having to alter mine in a certain way, so that when both our ideas merge, then we have a better solution or a better perspective on top. So I think that the other partner who is stronger or whatever, you know,
has strength in that aspect.
Excuse me, guys. Should be able to not
use that.
Not
use that as something that, like you were saying, that becomes like an abusive thing. So he knows that he can get his way quite easily, so he rides on that wave. He rides on someone else's weakness.
Yeah.
Because where I am weak, you are strong in that, and where you are, so we can't ride on each other's weaknesses. I think that is a toxic trait on its own. You thrive on my, weaknesses. So yeah, I think there's a lot of examples that we can make. There's a lot of things that in relationships become toxic, like the inability for people to listen to each other, where you don't hear me. There's nothing as sad as someone who just never listens. Like they don't. When you speak, they're already thinking of what's my next response, or what's the next better point I can bring. So they don't hear you. They don't listen. And it's almost like they don't even see you as a person who, when this person speaks, let me be objective and hear them, and not be so ready to always correct, always come out as right, always defend, because everyone's opinions, everyone's feelings are valid. Yeah. So there's a lot of, and I think what's important, babe, in what you're saying is that consideration matters a lot. And more than consideration, I think self-awareness also. Yeah. Because these are the things that we go through, like we make observations to say, and I try to also observe you to say, babe, I think you've got this trait that might not necessarily be good for you or be good for us in the future. So it's important for you to be aware of self and aware of others, so that you sort of prevent certain things from happening in the future that might tarnish or ruin the relationship.
Yep. I've never heard anyone say I'm a good hearer. They'd rather say I'm a good listener. So it's not too important that you are hearing, but far more important that you're listening.
Yes.
So that's what's needed.
Yeah.
No, I can't add anything more to what you've said, honestly. And I think we have to be very careful of those things. We might have not mentioned a lot or enough of the things that are toxic in relationships, but there are things that you might not be aware of that can cause problems for your relationship in the long run, or for you as an individual in the relationship. Yeah. So those are things that we have to be very much careful about. And I think key to seeing all of that is just to be a considerate person.
True. You guys, let us know what you guys think, what you guys have experienced in terms of toxic relationships and things that lead to toxicity within a relationship. Let us know by commenting down below. Don't forget to like this video
if you enjoyed it. I'm sure
you did, right, guys? If you like us, like this video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to our channel, and thank you so much for the love that you guys have shown us and are continuing to show us here and on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. It's _RealBlackLove, and on Twitter as well.
Sure, guys. Until next time. See ya.